Alright guys, I'm doing a tutorial on how to do, or how to make the Jokers steal the spectator's card. I'm not sure what that trick is called, but you could call it the stolen Jokers or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, you start off with two of the cards that you're going to force the person to have a duplicate card in between the Jokers. Actually, you're going to start off with that duplicate card on top of the two Jokers, and the card you're going to force them is going to be on top of the deck. And you're going to put the two Jokers and the other duplicate card on top of that, and the trick is pretty much set up to go. You do a triple lift, in this case just grabbing off two cards, that's what they think you're grabbing. Since you palm this other four like this, and just grab the other Jokers off, and you can even hold the two Jokers in this hand without them really seeing too much of the four. They shouldn't see the four at all if you keep it at the right angle, because it's really easy to cover from multiple angles. You hand them the two Jokers, and it is only the two Jokers. Then they can make sure of that and make sure you don't have cards taped to the back or whatever. And when you get those back, you just like square them up in one hand and do like that. And if you want to, you can just grab this top card off, slide it off, and put it on the bottom. Just make it fluid motion, and then set it down. Make sure they're not crimped like that too, because you just do like this in your hand and crimp them up or crimp them back to straight like that, where they're not coming off the table or wherever you set them. And then you just, since you have the cards, you're going to force them on the top, or you can do whatever kind of force that you want to. In this case I did the classic force, where you do a pinky break, and you cut the cards, do a pinky break at the top, and fan through the cards, and as they're starting to reach forward, it's like, alright, pick a card, and when they start to reach forward, just put that card out. Don't like do this, because that'll be too obvious, but like, you kind of put the card in their hand, and of course that's the four. And you set that aside and say, all right. Of course, the magician has not seen the card yet. Only the spectator and the camera should see the card. And they show it to the camera like so. As you turn around, turn your back, whatever. And it's like, all right, put the card back on the top of the deck. And when they do that, you just pick the cards back up like this and do another palm of the four. And it doesn't matter if you grab off 2 or 3 cards, because you're gonna. Or it's actually better if you just grab off the 4, but in this case you grabbed off 2, or I did. Little mistake. You can keep that like that, and just give the cards, like, keep your hand kind of pointed down and do this right here, and just cut the cards like that and just set them down. It's like, alright, your card is now lost somewhere in this deck right here, and you can even point with your the hand you're palming the cards with. Again, it should only be just the 4. Let's take the 8 out of there. You can even point to the deck and say, alright, your card is lost somewhere in this deck, and when you do this, you take your other hand that doesn't have a palmed card, and you can like you can misdirect them by fanning the cards out or do whatever. And it's like, alright, now make sure your card is not anywhere in this deck. And they take their fingers or whatever they want, or like pick it up in their hand or whatever, and look through the deck. And of course they're not going to see the card, and they can pick the card to the whole deck up and look at the backs and everything like that. And while they're doing that, since you have them kind of misdirected, you take the other duplicate card, you either put it in your back pocket or the elastic of your shorts, or under your shirt or something like that, to keep it out of view and like out of sight, out of mind. And you just, let's say we set that in my back pocket, and it's like, alright, you take the deck, square it up, and you can have them look at it again if you want to, unless they don't want. And if they don't want to, you can just set the deck down and show your hands completely empty. And the effect could be done there if you wanted just to make a disappearing effect, and you don't need the duplicate card for that. That's just a palming and putting it in your pocket. But since I used the Jokers in this, they're going to take the card, and so you didn't have any kind of contact with the Jokers until other than the beginning of the trick. Throughout the trick, you had no other contact. You didn't mess with them or whatever, and they were in sight the whole time. And you can have them have their just take their hand and move the Jokers aside, and sure enough, their chosen card is in the between the Jokers. And that's how you make the Joker steal their card. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.